Okay, so say you do, after that plane ride. Well, tell me about the atmosphere while it's like you said that was a turbulent time.
Yeah. Well, the atmosphere of the 60s, the late 60s, like I said, it was a turbulent time because people was waking up consciously. Black people was waking up consciously, regardless. A lot of people was going into the Nation of Islam. A lot of people was coming to the Nation of Gods and Earth. He was known as 5%ers at that time.
And then I said, I wanted to, and I was going to build with you about that, because I know you mentioned, your name, and you said that you were part of the Gods and Earths, and there's a lot of controversy about the Gods and Earths versus the 5%. And you coming from the Quality Cipher years, what is your perspective or your insight on that?
Well, the Father stated that we are his 5%ers. Now, meaning that he is God and his 5% is the rest of us. Now, gods that was there said that, I think it was in 1969, just before the Father went back, that the Father said you're now the nation of gods on earth.
Not everybody agrees on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I wasn't there.
Okay. Please.
I wasn't there. So I'm just saying what is said in the nation, and I ain't the only one who heard it. But I'm just giving my perspective based on what I've heard. How I drew it up. Yes, when you're a child in this nation, you're a 5%. A 5% is what? That's someone who teaches freedom, justice, and equality to all human families on planet Earth. You see? They're teaching who the black man is. They're telling people. You see? Just like we was 5% in the street telling people who God was. We said, yeah, Allah is God. Yeah, the black man is God. Now, we were children at the time, but I'm not a child anymore. So growth and development is not just a mental thing, it's also a physical thing. Not just a physical thing, it's also a mental thing. So if I'm going to grow up physically, then it would be proportionate and to show equality with myself to grow up mentally as well with my body. Right? That's what separates a child from an adult. So adult thinking is that this is the nation of gods and earth. You see? And yes, we can relate to the 5%ers as well, because I was a child, I'm a 5%er, because 5 is power. 5 represent refinement.
See, guys, you going into these things,
I understand.
Not to debate with you, or I'm just building and adding on with you, because some of these things, today's degree dealing with in the 140, like we all agree, right?
Yes.
And not all of us agree, right? You know what I'm saying? So, when you deal with the science of refinement and then, the term nation of gods and earths, just to touch on the nation of gods and earths, know that we teach all human families of planet Earth. So, and including the Caucasian man. So, we're a nation. So not all the citizens of the nation are gods and earths, right? So, the term 5% would encompass, more than just gods and earth. Although we are a nation that does consist of gods and earth. So,
yes.
So I'm not, like I said, I'm not, disputing you or trying to debate you.
I understand.
Just adding on with you, but and also with refinement. Now, I'm somebody who got refinement in my mathematics.
Yes.
And did you get refinement with yours?
Definitely.
You did, and you got yours in what year?
In the 60s.
In the 60s, okay.
Yeah, the lessons, well, see, that's what I'm saying, a lot of things came out, even back in the day, certain things. The Father changed a few things in the lessons itself. But in the process of learning, in the very beginning, when we were just getting bits and pieces, those of us who were just getting bits and pieces of lessons at the time, which was mostly the older gods, because the newer gods that came along in the 70s, they was handed the whole 120, the whole lessons and stuff, because it was more readily available for them. But in the beginning, we was getting it, you know, bits and pieces.
You had to come together to actually get the whole thing.
Yeah, see what everybody got.
Right.
Okay, now see, yes, in the lessons, you know, because I've heard people's discrepancies. I've heard some crazy discrepancies. Sometimes it make me laugh, but I say that, you know, as long as people stay in this nation, they're going to grow and develop, and it's going to dawn on them you know, the qualitative state of thinking and drawing up the mathematics from the lowest term to the highest form. Because power and refinement means 5 in our nation, because the refinement is the manifestation of culture.
Okay, now I agree with that, right? So, with culture is the fourth principle, right? Mm-hmm. Right. So this is where you see a lot of brothers have these disputes, and interestingly, you know, I can't recall any older brothers having that dispute. It's a lot of the younger brothers. Mm-hmm. Although there is a degree, or there is a writing of Universal Shamgar in the Son of Man, where he addresses refinement with the power.
Yeah.
Right. So you know, again, but there are different levels of of understanding. Different layers of understanding.
Right. Remember, Queen Equality. That's why I mentioned quality, because knowledge in God, in terms of quality, is like the value. You know, when you value something, you have a quality on it. You know, like you get us something, you say, oh, this is a 100% quality, and it's real and genuine. Or you say, oh, this is not as going to have a high quality to it, so it has a lesser value. So, you know, the more quality that you have in terms of identifying yourself and being in this nation, is the more qualitative state that you're going to have, because it's going to show one way or the other, you know, through your growth and development about how you express yourself. So as you know, how you express yourself, how you represent yourself, you know, by things that you do and say. Because, you know, we say that we're civilized people, you know. So, you know, you show and prove your civility by your actions.
Right. And just to add on, you know, I see the purpose of refinement. I see it.
I see it.
Some brothers don't, and you know, and to be honest with you, it shows.
Yeah. And you know, another thing is that it's not like you said. We know. It's not never about putting people down for having a lack of understanding or lack of knowledge or lack of wisdom, because ain't nobody 100% to know everything. But it's about doing the best you can as a person. Some people have better capabilities than others in many different ways. Some people learn fast, some people don't. Some people understand better than other people don't. Some people don't, you know, some people may not never learn, but at least they try. See, I give a lot of credit to anybody that try and really put effort into something. That shows intentions, that shows motives, that shows a degree of righteousness that this possessor had. It may be a little bit, but he letting that shine. See, that's the difference. Because we as a people have to come up. We all come up. I think it was Martin Luther King said, maybe that, he gave the mountain speech. He said, we all may not get there at the same time, but we all going to get there. You see? I mean, like waves on the ocean travel from that shore to the far shore, but all those waves, they all don't get there at the same time, but they all get there. And they start back and go back again. So life is like that. And in our nation, we are like that, but we're still here after all this time. It's because of our growth and development as a nation, based on the foundation we have, that we still exist today. Period. Everybody got something to do with that. That's a part of this nation.
So everybody has something to do with that.
Everybody got something to do with that. That manifests and represents a law, nation, that manifests truth, that manifests civility. Even those that have been around us, that Everybody has learned from us.
INFMEGA did this.